Hey there, welcome to the video. As you know, everyone in the trading world, or in the world at large, is looking for a shortcut, right? Now, yes, we're going to talk about AI and ChatGPT specifically, but what we're really talking about with all this AI stuff is a shortcut, right? I get emails many times. I've gotten emails many times from people saying, I haven't really traded much, but what strategy makes 10% per month? I mean, that's 120% per year without even having to go through all the process of what that even means, right? They just want the reward. They don't know how truly hard that is. Or it's a tennis player that comes to me and said, I want to win Wimbledon next year, but I haven't really played. How do I get to a Wimbledon champion in a year or a few months, right? It's asking for a shortcut, and AI is providing that. But the deeper question to just the strategy we're going to talk about today is it a good thing, right? AI, wonderful tool, but is it a good thing? For example, if you can't write, if you've never written, if it's not something yet you have done or can do currently, is it good that ChatGPT can now write all this stuff for you? You can not engage with your friends. You can just have AI write it. Does that build relationships? Or now that you can make copy and clone and rewrite a bunch of marketing emails or any sort of mass quantity of anything can be done for you now. And there's no responsibility. There's no learning that goes behind it. Is that a good thing? Or if you don't know how to make YouTube videos, but you want to have a YouTube channel and you want to make money, is it good that AI can now crank out these videos? They can make it for you. They can do the transcript. They can do the background. They can do the music, right? They meaning AI. It's not really they, but hey, let's call it they, right? But is that a good thing to try to hustle for a bunch of subscribers and a bunch of likes when you don't really know how to do it, when you haven't paid the dues? Similarly, if you can't code and you don't know how to trade, just never done it, is it good that ChatGPT can now write you a strategy in seconds and now off to the live market? Is that a good thing? Are any of these a good thing? So even though we're going to talk about a strategy, please understand that walk before you run is always a good strategy. Going slowly always works. Go slowly in tennis. Go slowly when you're actually literally walking. Go slowly with your investments. Going slowly is always fine. AI is exactly the opposite of this. AI is created basically in the space we're talking about just to go faster with no real knowledge gained along the way. Now, you could say there's a knowledge base that you need to run AI properly, and I'm all for that. That's absolutely true. But, okay, we're going to talk about a strategy, but please take 4.8 seconds and think about what's really going on here, and is it a good thing? Okay, that said, AI is fun, right? It is pretty cool. And there is no doubt it saves time. Now, my question to you, if we had a conversation, was, well, what are we saving time for exactly? For more scrolling? For more spam? For more videos you didn't make? You know, what are we saving time for? If it's something worthwhile, then I love it, of course. All right. Now, ChatGPT can write code. Now, I'm only using easy language. I'm only using TradeStation because for me, that's the easiest language. It's funny, right? But it absolutely can do it in easy language, and it absolutely can create strategies. But here's the problem. The results that you get, you start typing stuff. Oh, it's fun. Type, type, type. They don't always code properly into TradeStation. Now, I'm only speaking for TradeStation. It might work fine for something else, Ninja or TradingView or something else, right? We're only talking about TradeStation for this particular video. Furthermore, when I've tried to make it complicated, well, do the MACD this, but only if the RSI does this, and if the 15-minute chart, I mean, that can get complicated to even write, to even type it in the little box. It can get complicated, and guess what you get? Doesn't come out, right? So what's complicated? Well, if you have 7 different rules on 2 different time frames, that's too much. It will crank something out, but there's 2 potential disasters. One, it won't verify because in every strategy in TradeStation and otherwise, you have to verify it to make sure the code is actual. Lots and lots of errors, at least in my experience, when I take something that I've typed in willy-nilly and it doesn't verify, right? But what if you do this complicated thing and it does code, it does verify, and your chart looks good, and then you go live? I mean, that just sounds like the most frightening thing I've ever heard, right? So we're going to make a strategy or talk about a strategy, but don't get complicated, right? Don't go crazy. Okay. But like I said, a simple strategy that makes sense before you ever start typing should work properly into the platform and should have a good chance of future success. We've talked about a number of those in these videos and in the free newsletter. So what's simple? How about monthly? I mean, you can use weekly, but how about monthly momentum? Yay. And then we're going to use a timeless principle like momentum. Yay. Long-term charts do hold up. And something like momentum, which is kind of trend following, but just momentum, something that goes up, what? Tends to continue to go up. And that's all I did. That's all I typed into ChatGPT. So I typed it in. I asked it to create a monthly momentum strategy. So if the momentum of the last 12 months is greater than the average momentum of the past 6, if the momentum at the end of the month is high, guess what? It's hot right now, like Hansel. So we're going to buy. But when the momentum stalls, again, I just use 12 and 6. When the momentum stalls, you just get out. So you check it once a month. You could do this manually. Of course you could, right? And I love the strategies that you could trade manually but don't have to. Again, at the end of the month, you check it again. You either buy, or if the momentum is down, you sell. Okay? Not surprisingly, the code came back super quick, right? And here are the sample trades from that typing thing I did in ChatGPT. Ooh, that's a lot. You can see here, monthly momentum clearly up. So we buy. Oh, momentum is dying. We sell. Oh, momentum is now getting back up, and we sold, right? It died. Momentum is high. Momentum fades, and so forth, right? There's a whole bunch of trades. So what does that mean long term? Well, this goes back to the first trade taken in the sample from 1997, pretty far. Just traded $10,000 worth of stock each time. This is the SPY, right? The SPY, right? SPY. And it made, hypothetically, $26,320. What a great profit factor. Close to close drawdown. Very, very tiny. Again, it's almost 28 years of data. Average trade net profit, like everything, percent profitable. Everything looks fantastic. Yeah. And here's the curve, again, from 97 to 2025. And wow, right? 97, remember, that came right before the dot-com crash, which people say we're going to get another one of those here pretty soon here in 2025. Yikes. But they don't have to be right. But it goes from 1997. There's a dot-com crash, probably. Doesn't have the years on it, but assuredly that's it. And then it's been cranking upward like crazy. Recently, it's been doing great. So thanks, ChatGPT, for writing that strategy. Now, I'm not giving you the exact code, but this is pretty much everything. And this is copied and pasted straight from ChatGPT itself. When I said, if momentum is high over the past 12 months, this is what it came up with. Momentum length, right? So you could take that, do inputs, there's the momentum length and average length, right? If you know how to code in TradeStation, you just take those two. Then you have variables, right? And you have set up your variables, momentum value. Usually that starts at 0, right? This stores the momentum average, so it checks, right? You use variables, so it constantly checks. Oh, at the end of the month, is it up? Is it down? Gives you the momentum calculation, right? Close minus the close. Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? The momentum average, right? Over the past 6 months, right? Average is 6. Over the past 6 months, is it, I didn't say that very well. Over the past 6 months, is it better or is it worse? If momentum value is greater than the momentum average, then again, you would have to say, well, it has this one too, if market position equals 0. So if you're not in a trade and the momentum is high, then buy next bar at market, right? You just put those two together. Same thing. If the momentum value has dropped below the average and market position equals 1, meaning you're already in, then sell. So you could just take these and cut and paste if you like. But this is what the AI spit out at me. And it wasn't very nice to spit. Very rude. Okay? There you go. Bottom line is this. If you had a sensible idea on a long-term chart, then ChatGPT can write it for you quickly, right? Or even if you have past or present, right? Now, this was a strategy that got in when the momentum was high and got out when the momentum dropped over the past 6, right? You saw all that. Now, I went into a little bit more detail in the free newsletter. So if you're not on that list, feel free to contact me and get you on that list. I gave you a bigger breakdown, but that was basically the gist of it all, right? It's very, very simple. And when it made the code, it was perfect. You literally just copied it and pasted it into TradeStation, and it worked. Verify. Boom. Everything's great. And then the curve looked great. So hooray, ChatGPT. We took a simple idea and we coded it in, and it worked. Now the question is, was it too much of a shortcut? The other question is, would you trade it? Would you really trade something that came from AI? This one looks pretty simple. I think it's worth at least a conversation, right? Now, I did put this code all together for elite members if they wanted it. It's very simple, easy for you to cut and paste. There is a performance page portfolio, ELD, which is all 4 strategies. You can get that too if you're an elite member, or you can buy it, of course. And I did start the dividend income program that started in January and will run at least till December. So thanks. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.